So far, the response for this week's tea had been tremendous, because we'd decided to pair it with a book club event. We were going to discuss the Secret Book and Scone Society. Scones and tea, a perfect fit. "And her dress?" I asked. Lauren twirled in place, her tresses fanning out.
"It's silver and looks like my ballet dress."
She grabbed the seams of her pink tutu. "So her dress is lacy?" I asked. Lauren bobbed her head.
"And she has blue hair and sparkly silver shoes, and she glows."
"That's Fiona," I said. Her hair was actually gossamer and caught the light, much like a prism or the lens of a camera. At certain angles, her hair could become a variety of other colors. Lauren stopped moving and splayed her arms.
"Why are her wings so small? She can't fly with those."
"She's able to fly, but not long distances. She has to earn 3 sets of adult wings first, in addition to her current pair."
"How will she earn them?"
"By—" I tapped my chin. How could I explain it? Fiona, for all intents and purposes, was a fairy in training. She should have been a full-fledged fairy by now, but imp that she was, she'd done one too many pranks in fairy school, so the Queen Fairy had booted her out and subjected her to probation, during which time Fiona had to get serious. By helping a human, she could earn her way back into the ranks.
"Courtney? Yoo-hoo!"
Lauren touched my arm.
"How will she do it?"
"By doing good deeds," I replied.
"Everyone should do good deeds,"
Lauren said matter-of-factly. "Yes, they should." And not pranks like putting syrup in my tea as Fiona had done earlier. I'd warned her that the Queen Fairy would frown on her antics. Months ago, when I'd pressed Fiona for details on her banishment, she had been vague. One major restriction was that she could not have fairy friends. Though more fairies existed in Carmel, she wasn't to socialize with them. Yet.
"How did you meet her?"
Lauren asked. "She came to me the day after I opened this shop."
"Like magic?"
"Yes, like magic." After Fiona had told me about her predicament, I'd asked her if the Queen Fairy was a horrible, wicked fairy, and she'd blushed. "No," she'd said. "The Queen was the most wonderful fairy in the whole world." When I grilled her for more information, like were other fairies on probation, Fiona had dodged the question and instead educated me about her kind. In addition to types of fairies, like air fairies and water fairies, there were 4 classes of fairies: intuitive, righteous, guardian, and nurturer. Fiona was a righteous fairy, which meant she needed to bring resolution to embattled souls. Of course, there were rules in the fairy world. A righteous fairy couldn't intentionally put herself in harm's way.
"Have you always seen fairies?"
Lauren asked. "No." At the tender age of 10, when my mother died, I had lost my ability to see them. No matter how hard I tried, no matter how much I rubbed the locket my mother had given me, I couldn't see another. In the ensuing years, I grew serious. In high school, I studied hard to make my father proud. In college, I turned my attention to chemistry and earth sciences. After graduation, I joined my father's thriving landscaping outfit in Carmel by the sea and dedicated myself to working the land. Dig, plant, don't have fun, repeat. Until a year ago when Fiona appeared, at first I saw a sparkle and heard a tinkle and a ping, and then delightful laughter. She had flitted from behind a pot and introduced herself with a curtsy. When I found my wits, I asked why she would reveal herself to me. She explained that although the sorrow over the loss of my mother had squelched my ability as a girl to see fairies, it was my nose-to-the-grindstone attitude toward life that had continued to suppress me. When I made the decision at the ripe old age of 29 to spread my wings and start a fairy garden business, voila!